Hey, it's Ethan here at etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail Hitch Bike Rack and how it fits on our 2022 GMC Sierra F1500. The GuideRail is a two-bike platform style bike rack capable of supporting two bikes up to 60 pounds apiece. You can hold on to them with this dual wheel mount design, one on either tire, so it's not going to make any frame contact. If you want to get your carbon frame bikes on here, you can. If you have a really aggressive alternative frame style bike, that'll work too. It'll even hold your e-bikes as long as you're comfortable with lifting them up to the height that they sit at. But one of the first features that we're going to show off is the fact that we can tilt the rack away with the bikes loaded up. And I really like where the handle is to tilt the bikes. Is in the front here, it's just a blue handle. Everything's color coordinated. But pull that and we can tilt the racks towards us. I could say if you did have a bike on the front, getting out of the way while you're tilting it down could be a little bit strange. But from here, it's actually one of the first racks that we've tested where we have the ability to lower the tailgate fully and not make any contact with the bike or the rack at all. So now at this point, especially if you have a tonneau cover, you could reach in and get what you need. Or if you don't have a tonneau cover, it gives you plenty of room to step back here and reach further in the bed if you'd rather get your stuff out that way. Tilting it back up can be an experience though as well, again especially if you have two heavy bikes loaded up, because there's not a ton of leverage. You kind of just have to generate all the power on your own, but now that it's up and in place, we can get the bike off and get a closer look at the rack. So to release that, we'll press the buttons in, and that'll release the arms. We can push those out and then flip this up and push them all the way out. Repeat that on this side. Doesn't really matter which side you do first, as long as you get enough clearance and you're holding onto the frame of your bike the whole time. We can now get our bike up and off. I'll set it off to the side, and we can take a closer look at the tray, cradles, and some other features. First thing I'll do is put this one back away. If we leave it like this, it'll just slide. If we close it, you can hear it ratcheting and making those micro adjustments that it would make on your tire. Close this one up here as well. And on the hoops you can actually see there is a spot for you to adjust to accommodate different tire sizes. It's not tool free, but the tool that you need to use is provided. So it's easy enough just to pop that out, screw it back in once you figure out what tire size you need to get on there. As it comes, the trays are able to support a tire width of 3 inches and a maximum wheelbase of up to 55 inches. On the front of the tray here, you can see that there is this lock core. That's going to be for the really large, heavy-duty chain lock. It'll just fit in here. It'll slide right in there, and then you'll lock it up with that lock core that we just looked at. You can't use it with the bikes on and you're driving, but before you get to where you need to, or when you're done, you can lock it up and it's really secure. But from here now, we'll take a quick look and get a measurement and see how much distance we've added on to the back of our vehicle. So from the bumper to the furthest point back, it's going to be about 31 inches added on total. Not too terrible considering what it's able to support. As far as ground clearance goes, from the ground to that lever is going to be about 29 inches. As you can probably see from there, there is a nice stadium style design. That combined with the rise in the shank overall gets you a ton of ground clearance, so it's not something I'm going to be worried about. But that number is going to be something you want to keep in mind as far as how high you'll have to lift the heavy bike on the end should you choose to use it. If we want to though, we can save a little bit of space with the bikes unloaded using that same lever. Pull that and we can fold the rack up towards the back of our vehicle. And now we get a new measurement and see what it looks like from here. Now from the bumper to the furthest point back, it's going to be just over 14 inches, so we do save a good amount of space that way. It doesn't sit very close at all towards the back, and it's not going to move a whole lot further towards that than it is right now. From here, we want to take a look at what the rack covers on the back of our vehicle. So our license plate is down here in the middle. From straight on, it's going to be pretty heavily blocked, but from either angle, you'll be able to see it. Our backup cameras are also right here in the middle. You're definitely going to be able to see the rack out of the bottom, but it sits low enough that you should have a good range of visibility over the top of that. It's wide, but it doesn't come wide enough to really interfere with our taillights at all. and it's short enough that it's not going to interfere with our view out of our rear window. If we want to see how the rack fits into our hitch receiver, we can do that now. So the rack uses a 2-inch shank. It fits into our 2-inch hitch receiver. It's held in place by a 3/4 inch anti-rattle bolt with a lock on the end that's going to be key-to-like to that cable lock we mentioned earlier. So it's all one system, and once it's in there, it's really secure. It's not going anywhere. So overall, if you're looking for a pretty heavy-duty bike rack that's not going to make any sort of frame contact at all, it's going to give you a little bit of variability as far as loading up 2 bikes and you don't want them to make contact while you're driving, you can slide one up or slide one back to accommodate that. It tilts, it folds, and it looks really nice doing it. It's really easy to work with. I will say, if you like that dual wheel mount design and you don't mind spending a little bit more for some more features, you can check out something like the Kuat Piston Pro. It offers the same dual wheel mount design, a little bit more wheelbase, bigger tire width, a little bit more features to it, like a light kit included on the rack. But if you want that at an affordable price, the RockyMounts GuideRail is definitely the choice for you. This was just a quick look at the GuideRail and how it fits on our 2022 GMC Sierra 1500.